Alrighty, so as we start, we'll go back a little bit here, and we were talking about this fill, right? Said we were coming back to 64.66. We called this way past in the weeks because of a large volume imbalance gap on the intraday chart, as we always love to use. So after it had a huge wash, started creating those higher lows and higher highs, we said we'd see you back at 64.66 in multiple videos on YouTube, and welcome back. We have reached our destination. So after we hit that 1 minute volume bounce infill here, we opened up and in regular CPI fashion did absolutely nothing. We had a couple different moving averages to catch up. We always talk about this in our videos as well. So when there is a giant CPI move like this, and then it just goes into full scam grind mode where it does absolutely nothing but magnets up to the algo target we have picked, the next day we just wait for the next longest moving average to catch back up, which in this case was the 666. So as you can see right here, the 666 moving average, SMA, we opened up and just chopped the 100, chopped the 200, chopped the VWAP, and ding, right when the 666 caught up, as every single time this happens, there's no ifs, ands, or buts after a force up, we push, and that is the over under. So in this case, we broke out and over and just did the stall out zone, which very obvious, right? Pretty normal. We now have a couple targets to the downside as we're watching structure develop on the top, scalping a couple top moves here after they hit our long targets that we called at 6:30 this morning pre. You can scroll back up in the Discord for those. We have a big orange over under today, and this was the scam for this morning. And you knew me in dojis, which I'll cover a little bit more in the course, but as we go here, doji perfect, and a million other bodies on the 15-minute chart. I said this was class F trading right here. Please do not bother trading this zone, as it won't do a single thing until it chops up to our targets, which this is what a class F zone trading looks like. Do not do that. It is ugly. Moving to the 5-minute chart here, you can see some of that ride on the moving averages as well. If you don't want to wait for those minute charts, notice 100 EMA, 100 EMA on the 5-minute. When those moving averages catch back up after a push day, hey, it's fantastic. So our opening call right here is going to be short under our targets, and we have a free play. Okay, so the free play we'll discuss right here. Target is obviously the double gap. We have posted this again in Discord. If you see the 1-minute chart, we have a giant gap at the exact same place right here. Huge volume imbalance, right? Where does that look like, or what does it look like on the old SPY? Target hit for 3618, right? So where do we get those? Well, we have to go down to the 15, like we make our neon green fibs. We have this 15-minute breakout candle, obviously from the CPI, and this was the bottom of the day yesterday, 50% fib, as we called there. Nothing under that. It's going to go straight back up. So we did the high-low 15 here. 1618, 2618. Oh, never came back down, of course. Algo force up, algo pin. And rate 2, you guessed it, the 3618. Where does the other overlap come from on the 3618 and how we knew it was coming up here in pre-market? Easy peasy. It was the gap down candle with no GP tag. All-time high, prior, gap down from, right? So no GP. We've had this one on for a while. And if you look right here, we can even change this one to white. We usually like to white on the daily. You'll notice in pre-market, 6.4, 4.74. There we go. Easy peasy. So again, this GP right here, algo force up from a gap down scam, right? 1618, no back test. 2618, no back test. 3618, somewhere up in here at the end of August. Woo! We'll see you back down. I'll make another prediction video on YouTube as we did for the long target today. So our opening short call right here, this is no over under. This is only a short watch for me. We had said don't trade this zone, wait for the VWAP to hold scam, right? So forces up. What did it do? Wow, waited till the VWAP caught up. Again, just like moving averages. So simple. Boom. Rate 2, our double overlap is 3618 from the 15 yesterday and the daily. As we get into our other friends here at the NQ, same exact thing. Little sketchier because, well, it is the NQ. She's a little nuts over here. 15-minute in the pink. And then I used a separate one in the green. I was watching 2 different ones this morning. So another perfect 15-minute that hits the 100, the 200, the 10, and the WAP in the pink. So 3618 live tag needed. Now the QQQ is different, right? Where did we hit? Well, the 423 overlaps from 2 15 minutes yesterday. These will obviously need live tags, right? So this is our live tag zone. As we said, it would scam up to about 20 4, maybe even 50s. We'll see. That's just the next half whole dollar as the algos go. We're at all-time highs. There's nothing else to do besides watch half whole dollars and Fibonacci extensions. We created an algo this morning, so I want you guys to pay attention to that as well. Go to that 5-minute chart and watch this guy right here, because if we fail, these beautiful 423s will be coming down right here. Okay, so this is live tag needed, like so. That would be best case scenario, and then we'll watch for a confirmational short progress here down to the double 3618, and then if we get another continuation to the GP of the algo, right? So I'm not going to be on the SPY. I'm going to be, last but not least, I forgot, not going to be on the SPY. We're going to be on the vice versa. I'm not going to be on the NQ. I'm going to be on the ES today with the double gap guaranteed stamp of approval there. If we go into the NQ, we have a lone gap down here. As I said, this does not matter at all. Just pay attention to the upper. I know you guys are drooling, right? But Brandon, it's a 5-minute gap. Yeah, it's a sliver, unfortunately. So if you go down right here, it looks like a big old 5-minute gap, and it looks so beautiful, and they usually fill, but this is a really weird in-between triple no-tag GP, okay? So this is a really awkward one that I'm not quite sure what to do with, because the 5-minute gaps have been nuts. But after we fail and structure break up here, this will be our target. So yes, we actually do have a 5-minute gap down here if we get those speed structures 100 points away on some of this stuff, okay? So be mindful. This is not the trade call. If we get under our orange zones that we have marked off already in the over-under and the zones and the scam, okay, then we can take that. Under 24,000, under the 15-minute doji zone, I'll see you way down here, 100 points, okay? Now, I know you guys are probably foaming at the mouth, or maybe you didn't see it, but 5-minute NQ gap, I have never seen one except for one time, and that was on news gap, okay? News gap, news blip, doesn't count, not fill. So again, we have a sneaking suspicion that last but not least, we have this dude right here. Let's make it ice blue for now because we're out of colors. And we'll move this to the right. This should be at the 666 or close to. There we go. So what about fib ranging and getting back into it, right? Because this is the full scam, which we had already called because the SPY had room, okay? So this triple 5-minute with a gap, mind you, has gone 1618, 2618, perfect controlled wick right back to the 100 as always, right? Really, really, really sneaky. Full force up, 666 to the penny, straight down, and is now forcing up. Now we talk about zone entry for this style of move, which means when the price action gets back under the zone, 24,000, 14, 15 there, underneath there, 24,000, panic down to the GP of the 5-minute gap triple. That is the trade plan for the Qs. I don't know if I'm going to be over there. I might be over there on the big account today, but ES has the free play at the morning, okay? All huge predictions here. The 1-minute gap, though, that's down here on ES, that is the big precursor. Again, live tag from our 3618s. Focus the double gap lower, okay? That is at 64.8175 area, okay? So again, this is going to mark up just like Qs. Live tag needed for the scam as called in pre. And of course, it's a hopeful need, but we would love to see it. So if it scams out here, we're just going to see another long. So live tag of obviously the open 3618s here, okay? And then we'll get an opportunity to see a potential. So it's going to come up, 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 ding, and then fill that gap. So don't short anything yet. Live tags, as we always say, are important. And then I want to see after the ES free money trade here, because again, this rejection is what we wanted to see. We're scalping a little bit here on first tag pre. Again, we'll need live, as always, 644.75 to 69. That's going to be that zone. So right here, we're going to come back to live. So again, don't short anything now. It's just going to scam up. And we said we could go as high as 64.90, right? Slip past it, trap the genius longs that for whatever reason think it's going to continue, and right down to the gaps as we called. So we'll be watching that very close. And then after that happens, we will be over here on the NQ side, really watching inside zone 666, not 666. 666. So underneath that 24,014 and 24,000 hole, we'll be watching that because, again, we are at all-time high FOMO scam manipulation. These are huge after CPI too. It usually does not trade very well, so you got to wait for extra confirmation. So as the second we get under this and we start to break structure on the 5, like so, lower high, lower lows, get through the orange zone, I will be watching for some deadly dips, 100-point down, okay? So very, very heavy on the shorts, absolutely zero longs from here. We already called the VWAP long here, and we said do not short unless you get a huge structure break under the VWAP, which Not going to happen, like we said. Very rare. And then it magneted up to the 3618s. So our 3618s are the live tag short entry. We will take them down to the ES 1 minute. We will swap over to the NQ after we get our ES double 1 minute gap there filled. And we will watch for the breaks of 24K to the 15-minute orange zone. Wherever this scams up to, another 20 points up, 24,050, whatever the hell it wants to do, just let it. It's fine. And it's going to hit wherever it wants to, and then structure. Don't guess tops, silly goose moves. We already told you where the top could manifest. That's where it's going to be. Do you see it rejecting and creating lower high, lower lows for the pan down? No. Then why short? You're guessing. You're not trading. Easy as that. So we'll be watching those two huge moves here, and we'll watch that opening morning short. That is it.